Hey Chalk Nation, it's your girl Chalk. Welcome back to my channel, and in this video, it's all about the color purple. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I styled my daughter's hair using purple beads, purple bollies, purple barrettes, purple edge control, and I even painted her nails purple. And in part 2 of everything purple, I'm going to show you guys how I used that beautiful purple hair to create a braided slick ponytail for me. So let's get into part 1. And when it comes to some hair, oh yes, I'm gonna grow it, and it's gonna grow in nice and thick and strong. And how do we grow it? By doing protective styles. So the style that I'm about to do for my daughter is a protective style. I parted her hair from the corners of her ears going across, and I just applied some of that 24-hour edge control, and I'm taking my Denman brush and I'm brushing everything into a nice sleek ponytail at the nape of her neck. And I'm also going to apply some edge control to her natural hair, because I'm going to grab a piece of braiding hair and attach it with her natural hair to make a braid. And then I'm just going to braid that braid all the way down. And as I'm braiding, I'm blending her natural hair with the braiding hair. So I'm just splitting some of that braiding hair to blend it with her natural hair so that the braid will be nice and smooth. So now that we got that section done, I parted another section from ear to ear, and I'm just applying some product on the part so that I can clean up my part, because I want my parts to be nice and clean. And I'm just taking my comb and cleaning up the parts, separating the hair and combing it as I'm parting so that my part can be nice and straight. So at this point, I did not have a clue what style I wanted to do her hair in exactly. I'm just freestyling as it comes to my mind. So these creations that I do on my daughter's hair are literally just whatever comes to my mind as I'm doing it. I always like to have fun and do different things with her hair. So I just made another part from ear to ear, and I'm going to part that section right down the middle. So now we have our two sections, and I'm going to do French braids. So the French braids are going to start from her ears and meet in the middle where I just made that part. And I'm starting with the left side, so I'm braiding from left to right. And when I get to the middle, I'm gonna stop, because then I'm gonna start on the other side and braid from right to left, and then both of the braids will meet in the middle. Okay, so that braid is done, and now I'm gonna start on the braid on the right side, and I'm just braiding from her right ear to the center of her head. Okay, so that side is done, and now I'm grabbing a rubber band, and I'm just gonna put those two pieces of hair together and make a ponytail. And then I'm gonna grab some braiding hair, and I'm gonna split her natural hair into two pieces, because I'm gonna do two individual braids on that ponytail. And I'm starting with the first piece of hair, and I'm just latching the hair on, and I'm gonna braid that piece all the way down. Okay, so we got that braid braided all the way down, and now I'm going to do the same exact thing for that second piece of her hair. And now we're going to grab our purple beads, and I'm just going to pour a couple of them into my hand and start applying it to the ends of these braids. I'm going to take the tip of that braid, fold it up to make a thicker base so that the beads slide on easy. And I used 6 purple beads and 1 clear bead at the end, and then I'm going to grab my rubber band and secure that last bead. And then that piece of hair that's sticking out, I'm just going to grab my scissors and cut it off, and boom, we got our braids, and they look so cute with the beads. And now we're moving on to the next section of her hair, which I'm just parting straight down the middle, and then I'm parting from the middle in a diagonal part to make 2 sections. And I'm going to start applying some of our 24-hour edge control, brushing it through with the dimming brush, and I'm going to make a ponytail. And I'm going to do the same thing with that second section of her hair, making sure everything is brushed in nice and smooth. And we have 2 ponytails. And I'm just going to apply some product to her natural hair because we're also going to make a braid with some braiding hair. So I'm grabbing a piece of braiding hair, making sure it's the same thickness of her natural hair, and I'm just hooking that braiding hair into her natural hair, and I'm going to braid that braid all the way down. And I'm adding product as I go to make sure everything is nice and smooth and there's no lumps in the braids. And we're going to braid that all the way down. And once I get to the end, I'm just going to wrap it in a counterclockwise motion. Grab a rubber band and secure that bantu knot. I love my daughter's hair in bantu knots. So that is what came to my mind when I started this section of her hair. Bantu knots are like my go-to style for her. They're such a great protective style. And I'm going to do 2 more bantu knots on the other side of her hair. So it's going to be 4 in that section in total. And now I'm moving on to the front of her hair. So I'm going to do a small French braid starting from the back of her ear coming towards the front of her face. So I just applied some of that edge control, and now I'm doing my French braid. And I'm being very careful not to braid this braid tight because it is the front of her hair and I want her to have her edges. So I started the braid off with her natural hair so that it won't be too much tension on her scalp. And then when I got to the end of her natural hair, that's when I added the braiding hair. And I'm just going to braid that braid all the way down and fold the tip of the braid up to get that thicker base. And we're going to start adding our beads, and I did do 6 purple beads and 1 clear bead at the end like I did the ones in the back, and boom, that braid is complete. And now I'm going to move on to the next section of her hair. So I'm going to make another diagonal part, and for this section I'm going to do chain ponytails. So I'm just applying some of that edge control, cleaning up my part, and then I'm going to section off the first piece of the chain. And then I'm going to use my comb and some more edge control just to swoop it up nice and smooth. Grab a rubber band and make a ponytail, and that's the first section of our chain. And then I'm going to part another section of hair and apply some more edge control to that section, and I'm going to hook that front ponytail in with the second ponytail, which creates the next part of our chain. And for that last section, it's going to be 1 ponytail, and then I'm going to add some braiding hair in, braid a braid all the way down, and make that a bantu knot as well, and apply our first purple bolly. And now I'm on the other side of her head. I literally just did the same exact thing to the right side of her head that I did to the left side. Made our French braid by the ear, did our chain ponytails, added our braiding hair, braided a braid all the way down, and made a bantu knot and applied another purple bolly. And now we're on the last section of her hair in the middle, which I just made a ponytail at the edge of her hair, and that ponytail is going to hook into the last section of her hair. And I'm just using my comb to work some edge control through her hair so that when I make the ponytail, it's nice and sleek. I'm grabbing a rubber band, creating that ponytail, and then I'm gonna grab some braiding hair. This is our last braid that we're gonna do, and we're gonna make that braid into a bantu knot and apply another purple bolly at the end. And then the style is complete. Y'all see how easy it was to do this style? It literally only took me about 30 minutes to do this style. Even though parts of the video was sped up, in real time it only takes about 30 minutes. And this is the finished look. It came together so cute, but watch this. And boom, just like that, we got a baby purple goddess, all purple everything. Purple unicorn on her purse, purple shirt, purple skirt, purple hair accessories. I even painted her nails purple. The whole look is just giving everything that needs to be gave. Make sure you guys tune in to part 2 where I show you guys how I did my hair in a low sleek braided ponytail using purple braiding hair. I even did a nail tutorial with purple nail polish, and I tried purple lipstick for the first time, Chalk Nation, so stay tuned for part 2. Peace!